So we all know that Microsoft got off to a rough start with the Xbox One, but that doesn't mean they can't turn things around. And based on the lineup of games they've got coming out, it's definitely a possibility. Let's talk about it right here on episode 86. So if you guys remember back in the day when they announced the Xbox One console, I did a video and I kind of said, hey, I'm not happy with the direction they're taking this console. It's probably not going to be something that I'm going to buy unless, you know, these things happen, right? The Kinect has to go. This DRM stuff has to go. All these things have to happen before I'm ready to give Microsoft my money. Now, since that video, I have watched them overhaul everything. You know, they've not made the Kinect mandatory. They've gotten rid of the DRM. They've gotten rid of all the confusion that was, you know, surrounding the console at launch. So now your boy Xonevant is ready to buy an Xbox One. The only thing I need is a reason. I need a reason to buy it. And it really just comes down to games, right? I mean, everybody has their preference of games, games they enjoy. And that's obviously why we buy the consoles that we buy. Now, in my opinion, at least up until now, there hasn't really been the need for me to own both consoles, right? Because most of the games that are coming out, you can play on either console, right? They're multi-platform games. The exclusives really hasn't been that much of an issue, at least for me. But I think this is where Microsoft makes the smart move, because they're going to be focusing on exclusives for the next year and new IPs. And that gives you reason to buy that console if you've been on the fence, or if you're like me, right? You didn't want to get it at first, but now you can't wait to get it. You're just waiting to have a game you can play on it that you can't play on your PS4. And I'm gonna go over some of the highlights, right? You got Halo 5 Guardians, you got Rise of the Tomb Raider, Fable Legends, Forza Motorsport 6, and Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Now, the good thing about this lineup is that it kind of touches all their consumer base, right? You've got maybe your Halo fans who might play Halo 5 Guardians. You've got your old Fable fans who might play Legends. You've got your racing fans that might play Forza. And then you're bringing back Gears of War, right? Which kind of brings back your core fan base from the Xbox 360 days. Now, while you personally may have an issue with some of these games or may not be interested in some of these games, this is the best opportunity for Microsoft to reach a wide variety of their audience that they may have missed out because the launch was so confusing, right? And this may be a good way, a good portal, if you will, for other gamers to say, you know what, we're going to try this console out. We're going to get this console because it's got that game. It's got that game that I cannot play on the PS4. Now, in my opinion, they've made another smart play, and that is delaying the Quantum Break game until 2016. Now, this could go either way. Some of you might be saying, no, that could have easily been the system seller. They should have put it out before Christmas, but I don't necessarily see it that way. Now, Quantum Break is easily a system seller for me. Like, if I haven't gotten the Xbox One by the time this game drops, I will definitely be picking it up. But it's a smart play on their part to try to get as many consoles into homes this Christmas season, and they stand a better chance at doing that with franchises that gamers are familiar with, in my opinion, and then saving the new IPs for next year. Because at that point, I think you're more apt to pick up that game for $60 when you've already spent the massive amount of money on the console versus the other way around. So I can really get behind this move, man. I can applaud this move by Microsoft. It's a smart play. You're getting all those franchises out that people are familiar with, that people have grown to love over the years, right? Playing on the Xbox console. Not to mention Rise of the Tomb Raider exclusivity, right? No, I mean, there's going to be some gamers out there who are going to want to wait for the PS4 version, but some who can't. Right? Some people are like, you know what, I gotta get that game when it drops, and it's a forced buy for a console, and it's a smart move on their part. And now they're adding backwards compatibility too, and I know that's kind of a slow rollout, but that's a step in the right direction. I mean, this is what gamers want with their console, right? Tons of flexibility, those core franchises mixed in with the multi-plats, and that's kind of the direction that Xbox is heading in right now. Now, I was reading an article today that said the live-action TV show for Quantum Break is still in development right now, and that could be the true reason why they kept this game from coming out this year, right? Because I'm sure they want to launch them both at the same time, especially if they correlate with each other, which I'm really not sure how that's going to work. I'm kind of hoping that they're just two separate experiences and that they don't necessarily tie in. but we'll see how that goes. But even if that's the reason why they pushed it back to 2016, I still think it works out in their favor. So now I'd like to hear what you guys think about Microsoft's game plan. And I want us to put aside our personal feelings about the consoles and let's look at this thing objectively, right? If you wanted to sell as many consoles as you possibly could, you know, over the next 8 to 12 months, especially this Christmas holiday season, and you knew that you were behind the 8 ball on the other console maker, right? What would you do? Which games would you put out to try to sell some consoles? And maybe some of the games that are on this list are on your list. Let me know in the comments below. See you guys right back here tomorrow.